The Inner Temple, Meditation as a Universal Path to Truth. A Companion to the Unity of Truth. Introduction. The still point at the heart of all paths. In every corner of the spiritual world, whether ancient temple, quiet forest, bustling mosque, or solitary mountaintop, there exists one unifying practice: silence. Meditation, in its many forms, has been used throughout history to transcend illusion, remember our divine essence, and return to the source of all being. This book is an invitation to explore meditation not as a technique or trend, but as a universal language spoken by the soul. From the focused breath of a Zen monk to the whispered mantras of a yogi, from Christian contemplative prayer to the trance states of indigenous shamans, humanity has always sought stillness to hear the voice beneath the noise. Meditation is the practice of reunion, the direct experience of oneness taught by every tradition. In this book, we will strip away the dogma and surface differences to reveal the shared wisdom underneath. You will discover not only the many forms and functions of meditation, but also how to build a sustainable personal practice that aligns with your unique spiritual path. Finally, we will connect meditation with other tools on the spiritual journey, the art of manifestation and the symbolism of tarot. Meditation opens the channel, manifestation gives it direction. Tarot, used wisely, offers insight into where your energy is blocked or ready to bloom. In the final chapter, you'll find a few guided practices and spreads to integrate all three into one aligned path. Chapter Outline. Chapter 1. The Universal Call to Stillness. Meditation across the world's traditions. Why silence and stillness are sacred. The difference between passive and active forms of meditation. Scientific and spiritual reasons for inner practice. Chapter 2. The Purpose of Meditation. Clearing illusion and dissolving ego. Cultivating awareness and presence. Reconnecting with the divine spark within. Meditation as communion, not escape. Chapter 3. Paths of Meditation Across Cultures. Buddhist Vipassana and Mindfulness. Hindu dhyana and mantra-based practice. Sufi and Christian contemplative prayer. Taoist inner alchemy and indigenous trance. Modern and secular mindfulness. Chapter 4. The Mechanics of Mind and Consciousness. Layers of consciousness and the structure of the mind, how thoughts form and dissolve, the observer within, the gateway to spirit, the role of breath and body awareness. Chapter 5. Building your inner temple. How to create a personal meditation space, choosing the right practice for your path. Rituals, timing and consistency, working with distractions, resistance and doubt. Chapter 6. Deepening the practice. Meditation as devotion, inquiry and surrender. States of absorption, flow and insight. Working with visions, emotions and healing. Going beyond technique into formless awareness. Chapter 7. Meditation in everyday life. Living mindfully and with spiritual awareness. Meditation in action. Walking, eating, speaking. How silence transforms relationships and community. Meditation as sacred activism and service. Epilogue. Returning to the center. The meditative life is a life of unity. You are not separate, you are the stillness you seek, the eternal now as the gateway to truth. Bonus. Meditation plus manifestation integration. Breath work for intention clarity. Visualization anchoring ritual. Daily stillness to manifestation flow. 2 tarot spreads for meditation. Pre-meditation spread. What is asking to be released? What wants to be received? What part of me needs stillness? Meditation mirror spread. What truth am I ready to see? What illusion is being lifted? What wisdom arises in silence? Chapter 1. The Universal Call to Stillness. Throughout every religious and spiritual tradition, we find the recurring call to enter silence, to pause, reflect and listen beyond the noise of the world and the mind. This universal invitation transcends doctrine, offering instead an experience, the presence of stillness within. Whether it is the silent watchfulness of Buddhist monks, the contemplative prayer of Christian mystics, or the trance states of indigenous shamans, all paths eventually lead inward. This turning inward is not retreat, but return. Return to the source, the soul, the center. Meditation across traditions. In Buddhism, meditation is central to the Eightfold Path, with mindfulness and insights serving as tools to awaken from illusion. In Hinduism, yogic meditation unites the self with the universal, dissolving separation. Christian monastics such as the Desert Fathers embraced silence and contemplation as direct paths to union with God. Sufi mystics whirl and chant to transcend the self and merge with the beloved. Taoists meditate to align with the way, embracing flow, balance, and emptiness. Indigenous traditions enter altered states through drumming, chanting, and connection with nature spirits to receive guidance and healing. Despite cultural and methodological differences, the heart of each practice is the same: to quiet the surface of the mind and connect with something deeper, something eternal. Why silence and stillness are sacred. Stillness is more than absence of noise. It is presence. It is awareness untouched by thought. In silence, truth reveals itself, not through effort but through surrender. When we stop grasping, judging, or distracting, we become available to the deeper currents of being. The sacred texts of every tradition point to this. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 4:6-10. The quieter you become, the more you are able to hear. Rumi. Silence is the language of God, all else is poor translation. Also attributed to Rumi. When the 10,000 things are still, the Tao will be revealed. Taoist teaching. Passive and active forms of meditation. Meditation doesn't always mean sitting cross-legged in silence. While passive forms are powerful, active meditation is just as valid. Walking in mindful awareness, chanting, dancing or drumming, journaling or sacred reading, working with visual symbols. Each form, if practiced with intention and presence, becomes a gateway to the sacred. Science meets spirit. Modern neuroscience confirms what mystics have long known: meditation rewires the brain. Regular practice reduces stress and anxiety, increases emotional regulation, improves attention and focus, enhances feelings of compassion and connection. These effects mirror the inner fruits described in spiritual literature: peace, clarity, love, and wisdom. The call to you. Meditation is not reserved for monks, mystics, or gurus. It is your birthright. You do not need to believe in a specific tradition, follow a certain lineage, or reach a particular state. You only need to begin, with a breath, a pause, and the intention to listen. This chapter calls you inward. The stillness you seek is already within you. Let us now walk into it, together, and rediscover the sacred silence at the heart of all things. Chapter 2: The Purpose of Meditation. Meditation is often seen as a tool for relaxation or mental clarity, but its true purpose is much deeper. Across cultures and centuries, meditation has served as a gateway to spiritual truth. At its heart, meditation is the path of remembering who we are beyond thoughts, beyond roles, beyond illusion. Clearing illusion and dissolving ego. One of the primary functions of meditation is to strip away illusion, the false identities, assumptions, and fears we accumulate over time. These mental constructs, often rooted in ego, distort our perception of reality and reinforce the illusion of separation. Meditation invites us to sit with what is real, not what is imagined. As thoughts rise and fall, we learn to witness them rather than identify with them. In that witnessing, the ego's grip loosens and clarity begins to emerge. Cultivating awareness and presence. Meditation trains us to live in the present moment, which is the only place truth exists. Past and future are constructs of the mind, the present is where the divine resides. Through consistent practice we develop an inner observer, the part of us that can be aware without judgment. This awareness brings with it acceptance, peace, and insight. We learn to listen, not just to the mind, but to the body, the breath, and the spirit, reconnecting with the divine spark within. All spiritual traditions speak of an inner light, a divine presence that dwells within. Meditation turns our attention inward, helping us reconnect with that essence. Whether it's called Atman, Buddha nature, the Holy Spirit, or the higher self, the experience of this inner divinity is profoundly transformative. This reconnection restores our sense of meaning and belonging. It reveals that we are not separate from the divine, we are expressions of it. Meditation as communion, not escape. Contrary to the misconception that meditation is a retreat from the world, it is actually a deep engagement with reality. In silence, we confront our fears, examine our desires, and discover our essence. We commune with truth, not by fleeing the world but by seeing it clearly. True meditation does not isolate, it unites. It does not avoid emotion or conflict, but brings them into compassionate awareness. It is not a technique for avoidance, but a sacred act of presence. A universal practice of awakening. When we meditate, we participate in a timeless, borderless tradition of awakening. From desert caves to Himalayan monasteries to modern city apartments, people have always turned inward to rediscover the truth of their being. Meditation is not merely about sitting still. It is about becoming still inside, so still that the illusions fall away, and what remains is love, clarity, and unity. In the next chapter, we will explore how different cultures express and structure their meditative practices, revealing the diversity of methods and the shared spiritual heart beneath them all. Chapter 3: Paths of Meditation Across Cultures. While the heart of meditation is universal, its expressions vary beautifully across cultures. This chapter explores the rich diversity of meditative practices, revealing how each tradition offers a unique doorway into the sacred, and how all lead to the same inner stillness. Buddhist traditions, mindfulness, and insight. In Theravada Buddhism, meditation focuses on developing mindfulness and insight. Practitioners observe the breath, bodily sensations, thoughts, and feelings with non-attachment, leading to deep clarity and the realization of impermanence, non-self, and the cessation of suffering. Mahayana schools, especially Zen, emphasize direct experience over intellectual understanding. Zazen, or seated meditation, cultivates silent awareness and teaches the practitioner to just sit, to drop striving, and be fully present. Tibetan Buddhism integrates visualization, chanting, and breathwork. Techniques like Tonglen and deity yoga transform the mind through imagery and sacred sound. Hindu practices, dhyana and mantra. In Hinduism, meditation is one of the 8 limbs of yoga. Its purpose is to quiet the mind so that the soul may reunite with Brahman. Techniques include mantra meditation, silently repeating sacred syllables like Om to focus the mind. Jnana meditation, self-inquiry into who am I, dissolving the ego. Bhakti meditation, loving devotion and surrender to the divine. The Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads offer rich teachings on meditation as a path to union and liberation. Christian contemplative practices. Though often overlooked, Christian mystics have long cultivated meditation through contemplative prayer. Forms include Lectio Divina, sacred reading and reflection, centering prayer, silently resting in the presence of God beyond thought. The Jesus Prayer, rhythmic repetition of a simple invocation to quiet the heart. Mystics like Teresa of Avila, John of the Cross, and Meister Eckhart describe deep states of divine union accessible through silence and inner stillness. Islamic Sufism, remembrance and ecstasy. Sufi mystics use meditation to draw close to the divine beloved. Practices include dhikr, repetition of the names of God, aligning heart and breath. Whirling, a moving meditation to dissolve the ego. Silent sitting, watching the heart, waiting for divine intimacy. For Sufis, meditation is a doorway into divine love, a burning away of separation until only unity remains. Taoist and indigenous practices. Taoist meditation seeks harmony with the Tao, the natural flow of life. It emphasizes inner alchemy, refining energy through breath and visualization. Sitting and forgetting, letting go of identity to merge with the Tao. Indigenous spiritualities often use trance states reached through drumming, dance, or fasting. Vision quests, seeking guidance through solitary meditation in nature. Dream work, honoring the wisdom of the spirit world. These practices foster communion with the land, ancestors, and spirit. Modern and secular approaches. In today's world, meditation is embraced by people of all beliefs. Common forms include mindfulness-based stress reduction, transcendental meditation, guided visualizations and affirmations. These approaches often emphasize well-being, but many practitioners experience deeper spiritual benefits as they continue. A tapestry of truth. Each meditative path is a thread in the global spiritual tapestry. Though techniques differ, all share the same aim: to remember our essence, dissolve illusion, and return to unity. The form may change, but the silence is the same. In the next chapter, we'll explore how meditation interacts with the mind and consciousness, how it helps us transcend the mental noise and reawaken to presence. Chapter 4: The Mechanics of Mind and Consciousness. To meditate is to step into a sacred laboratory of the mind and spirit. This chapter explores how the mind works, how meditation reshapes it, and how awareness awakens us to deeper consciousness. Layers of consciousness. Many spiritual and psychological systems describe human consciousness as multi-layered. The conscious mind, our waking awareness and analytical thought. The subconscious mind, the seat of memories, habits and emotions. The superconscious, a higher awareness linked to intuition, creativity, and the soul. Meditation creates a bridge between these layers. By quieting surface thoughts, we access deeper insights and connect to the wisdom of our higher self. The nature of thought. Thoughts are not inherently problematic, they become so when we identify with them. Meditation reveals that thoughts arise, linger, and dissolve like clouds in the sky. We are not our thoughts, we are the sky itself, vast and unaffected. When we meditate, we learn to observe thoughts without attachment. This witness consciousness is a doorway to liberation. In that still witnessing presence, we find peace, clarity, and our essential nature. The role of breath and body awareness. The breath is the most accessible and powerful tool in meditation. Breath connects body and spirit. It grounds us in the present and calms the nervous system. Focusing on the breath is a simple yet profound way to center awareness. Likewise, the body is a sacred vessel. Body awareness practices, such as body scans or mindful movement, anchor the mind and teach us to inhabit the present moment fully. They remind us that spirituality is not just transcendent, it is embodied. Meditation and neuroplasticity. Science now confirms what mystics have long known. Meditation changes the brain. Regular practice shrinks the amygdala, strengthens the prefrontal cortex, increases gray matter in areas related to empathy and self-awareness. These neurological shifts mirror the spiritual outcomes described in ancient texts: inner peace, clarity, resilience, and compassion. The inner observer, gateway to the soul. Within all of us is an inner observer, a silent presence that sees without judgment. This observer is not a thought or emotion, it is awareness itself. When we rest in this presence, we experience unity. We step out of the mind and into the sacred. This observer is the same in all beings. It does not age or divide, it is pure being, the place from which love, insight, and freedom flow. Returning to presence. Each time we notice our thoughts and return to the breath, we strengthen the muscle of presence. Each time we drop into awareness, we remember who we truly are. Meditation becomes not just a practice, but a way of being, awake, open, and whole. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to create a meditation space and daily rhythm that supports this deep inner work. How to build your own inner temple. Chapter 5. Building your inner temple. Meditation flourishes in an environment of care, intention, and sacredness. This chapter guides you through creating a supportive meditation space, choosing a practice that resonates, and establishing a rhythm that honors your spiritual path. Creating sacred space. Your meditation space doesn't need to be elaborate, but it should be intentional. It can be a corner of a room, a dedicated altar, or even a spot in nature. The key is consistency and sacredness. Include a cushion or chair for comfortable seating, symbols or objects that hold meaning, a journal, incense, or any sensory items that signal spiritual focus. This space becomes a container, a temple, where your inner work deepens, choosing the right practice. No one technique is superior. The best meditation for you is the one you resonate with and will return to. Consider breath awareness if you seek calm and clarity, mantra repetition if sound centers your mind, guided visualization if you have an active imagination, loving kindness if you seek healing and emotional expansion, open awareness or formless presence if you're drawn to spaciousness. Experiment and trust what opens your heart. Rituals of entry and exit. Rituals help anchor your practice. Begin by lighting a candle, bowing or taking 3 deep breaths. End with gratitude, a journal entry, or a simple prayer. These small acts affirm that what you're doing is sacred. Consistency over duration. Daily practice is more impactful than sporadic deep sessions. Even 5 minutes a day establishes momentum. Choose a time you can honor. Morning stillness, lunch break reset, or evening reflection. Consistency builds the muscle of presence. Over time, your meditation mat becomes a gateway to the sacred, and your mind learns to meet stillness with reverence, overcoming resistance and distraction. You will be distracted. You will resist. This is part of the path. Notice distractions without judgment. Return to the breath or chosen focus gently. Use a timer to create structure and commitment. Every time you return, you're training the mind. Every session is a success because you showed up. Meditation as relationship. Your practice is a relationship with yourself, with the divine, with silence. Like any relationship, it deepens through presence, honesty, and time. Your inner temple is not just a place, it is a state of being. As you cultivate sacred space in your external world, you awaken the sacred within. In the next chapter, we will go deeper into how to evolve your practice, from technique to transformation, from habit to sacred devotion. Chapter 6, Deepening the Practice. As your meditation mat becomes more than a place and your breath more than a technique, a quiet transformation begins. In this chapter, we explore how to deepen your practice, from a tool for calm to a living relationship with the sacred, from technique to devotion. At first, we meditate to gain something, peace, focus, balance. But as the practice matures, we begin to offer ourselves instead. The practice becomes less about doing it right and more about showing up with sincerity. This is the shift from technique to devotion. Devotion is not necessarily religious, it is wholeheartedness. When you meditate with devotion, you sit not to fix yourself, but to remember who you are. Absorption and flow states. As you grow more intimate with stillness, you may begin to experience moments of effortless presence, times when the sense of self dissolves into spacious awareness. These are absorption states, sometimes called samadhi in yogic traditions. These states are not the goal, they are glimpses, they come and go. Their value lies not in how long they last, but in the clarity and insight they leave behind. Don't cling, simply receive, working with visions and emotions. In deeper meditation, emotions may surface: grief, joy, fear, love. Allow them. Let them be fully felt without analysis or suppression. Emotions are energy-seeking integration. Some may experience symbolic imagery or visionary experiences. These can be powerful, but remain grounded. If they come, honor them. If not, know that silence is equally profound. Meditation as transformation. As inner stillness becomes familiar, outer life begins to change. You may feel more attuned to others' emotions, old habits may fall away. A sense of trust and inner guidance begins to emerge. This is the unfolding of spiritual maturity. You are not becoming someone else, you are remembering who you've always been. Surrender and the sacred unknown. The deepest meditation is surrender. Beyond techniques, beyond effort, there is a space of formless resting. Here, the mind ceases striving. There is only being. This is where communion begins, where the veil lifts and you meet the divine, not as an idea, but as presence. Let meditation meditate you. Eventually, you no longer do meditation. It begins to do you. The breath breathes itself. The awareness watches itself. You dissolve into the now, where everything is unfolding perfectly. This is not the end of the journey, but a beginning of a new way of being. In the next chapter, we'll explore how this deepened presence can infuse your daily life, transforming ordinary actions into sacred expressions of awareness. Chapter 7, Meditation in Everyday Life. Meditation is not confined to the cushion. The deeper purpose of practice is to transform life itself. When stillness and presence move beyond our dedicated sessions and into our everyday experiences, meditation becomes a living expression. Living mindfully. Every moment offers an opportunity to be present. Whether washing dishes, walking through a doorway, or listening to a friend, mindfulness is a thread that can be woven into everything you do. Pause before responding. Take one conscious breath in moments of transition. Notice the body and breath during routine tasks. These small acts are portals to the sacred. The mundane becomes meditative. Sacred action and meditation in motion. Not all meditation is still. Moving practices, like walking meditation, conscious dance, or mindful yoga, can root awareness into the body and motion. Even everyday activities like gardening, cooking, or cleaning become spiritual rituals when done with attention and reverence. Silence in relationships. Meditation softens the edges of ego, allowing for deeper listening and empathy. Silence teaches us to pause before reacting, to speak with intention, and to truly hear others. Relationships become more spacious, loving, and authentic. You begin to see others not as obstacles or extensions of self, but as sacred mirrors. Work and service as practice. The workplace, too, becomes fertile ground for mindfulness. Begin your day with a moment of breath awareness. Infuse your actions with clarity and compassion. Notice the energy behind your choices and interactions. Even the most repetitive tasks can become expressions of presence. Your work becomes not just what you do, but how you serve. Meditation and the world. In a distracted, reactive world, living meditatively is revolutionary. Your calm presence becomes a sanctuary for others. Your stillness ripples outward. Meditation is activism, not through argument, but through embodiment. It is not about withdrawing, but showing up more fully, anchored in truth, integration and wholeness. As you integrate meditation into life, the boundary between practice and life dissolves. You become the temple you once entered. Every breath becomes a prayer, every act a blessing. In the next chapter, we'll explore how manifestation and meditation harmonize, how inner stillness can direct and empower your outer creation. We'll also explore practical meditative tools and tarot spreads that help reveal your soul's path. Chapter 8: Meditation, Manifestation, and the Tarot. When silence becomes your native language, your intentions carry more power. This final chapter bridges meditation with manifestation and introduces the tarot as a symbolic ally for self-discovery. Stillness first, intentions second. Meditation aligns your energy. Manifestation gives it direction. The most potent intentions arise from clarity, not craving. When you sit in stillness first, your desires become purified. They align not with the ego, but with the soul's growth, the manifestation cycle. Clarity, enter stillness and listen. What lesson is life offering you? What truth wants expression, alignment? Feel the intention in your body. Does it arise from love, courage, or fear? Imprint, visualize it clearly, engage the senses. Breathe it into your heart. Release, offer it to the universe. Trust, act without attachment. This process is not about control, but co-creation. Your will and the universe work together when guided by awareness. Tarot as a meditative mirror. The tarot is not fortune-telling, it is soul dialogue. Each card is a symbol, a mirror of inner truth. Used with intention, it becomes a meditative tool. Draw a card before meditation to set a theme or question. Use a card image as a visual meditation focus. Journal after meditation about insights connected to the card. The Fool's Journey spread. Use this spread when seeking clarity on your spiritual path. The Fool. Where am I starting from? The Teacher. What lesson is life trying to teach me now? The Challenge. What fear or habit is blocking my growth? The Gift. What strength is emerging from this moment? The Path Forward. What is my next best step? Reflect in meditation on each card before interpreting. Let the images speak. A simple manifestation meditation. Sit in silence and focus on the breath. Ask, what does my soul want to create? Feel the answer. Visualize it with gratitude. Affirm, I trust the unfolding. I walk in alignment. Repeat this regularly. Your outer life will shift with your inner clarity. Final thought. The purpose of meditation, manifestation, and tarot is not to escape reality, but to engage it fully. When used together, they form a sacred compass, guiding you toward your purpose, rooted in truth and lit by love. Your path is not ahead of you. It is within you. Trust your inner temple.